Okay, welcome back to the channel. So here to talk about a few graphite stocks, the numbers, rough numbers that surround them, and basically why graphite, because the lithium ion battery or a Tesla vehicle contains about 50 kilos of graphite. Half that will be natural graphite, which comes out of the ground. Half that will be synthetic, which comes of a byproduct of petrol. So in the future, they predict it's going to be 50-50 mix. They're moving more towards natural graphite in the later years. So what happened to lithium when it went into shortfall? The price went up. Shares such as these ones, like they had a decent resource, going to get production. They did the numbers when the price was high. Looked like they're going to make $400 million a year for a company that only had to spend $100 million to build the mine. From here, the lithium price came down, and maybe they've had production. I don't even know what happened to Core Lithium. Maybe production issues. Anyway, the thing is, buy low, sell high. Pilbara Minerals, guess what? Didn't need lithium back here. Like, no one really cared. Like, didn't need that lithium out of the ground so much. Maybe they sold a bit. Fast forward, these guys hold the marbles, had a massive supply of lithium, and just went so well. So it could be graphite. Lithium is like 1% or 2% in the ground. Graphite is like 10% to 30% high grade. So it could not, because there's so much graphite in the ground, that's not actually the shortfall, it's actually the process stuff. So it's getting out of the ground and making the spear balls and coating it. So I'm not sure how exactly the graphite shortfall will play out, but I do expect it will shoot up the price of graphite, meaning the numbers you see in these studies from these graphite companies will probably go up as well. So one graphite company is Walkabout Resources. They're actually about to make money. They're at 3 or 4 months from production, and here are the rough figures. So to buy the whole company, $76 million. They $45 million cost to build mine, already incurred. And these are all things. So they've already got this money thrown at them. $10 million left to raise, so that's already done. So basically, the building mine, I think they have to pay back $60 million. They will do that in maybe 2 years. They're making $60 million before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization. Then after all those things, after tax and everything, $25 million left in the hand for a company you can buy for $76 million. So guess what's going to happen if they actually do follow through and this comes true? They're going to say, give us some more money because we'll make another $25 million from a $50 million spend, etc. Maybe even less spend because they have to increase the plant size. Although, really, who knows what's going to happen when they get in production. They're probably going to hit hurdles and everything like that. Although there will be a step ahead of the competition. So that's WKT. Pretty good numbers. Now, rough numbers for another one you can invest in. VRC. Buy the whole company. Always go to the ASX website to look at the capex. The market capital, which means the cost to buy the whole company. So it's $47 million for this company. Cash, I don't think they had much, probably under $5 million. And what do you get for that? You actually get an existing mine, though it's in Ukraine and it's under war, so they're only made 1,000 tons per annum. WKT is doing like 40,000 tons per annum to start off with. VRC on the working mine only 1,000 tons, and I think they're going to go to 3,000 in the next thing. If we look in here, I think it says this mine actually used to do 60,000 per annum. So if the war stops and turns around, everything goes well, this could be a very cheap cost right now to buy this existing mine. Then they got this mine, which has just had a study come out today, which is a pretty decent study. We'll go into that. So 40 million cash. I'll just look at how much cash they have. 2.9 million cash. When am I seeing that other cash thing? Anyway, let's go look at the report feasibility study. They already had a study in this. They just done a new one because it was so many years ago, and the numbers had changed. So it's pretty good. They have one step where they raise, I think, only 30 million, so you don't have to dilute the share price so much. 30 million, and then they make 12 million EBITDA. So that's, you can see without even doing the maths, that's pretty crappy compared to WKT. WKT spent about 60 million. No, sorry, WKT is 60 million Australian, so this 33 million you have to convert that to Australian, which I'd say roughly is 50 million. I don't even care. 50 million to make US 12 million EBITDA. So What's that? USD and AUD. Almost 20 million. So spending... You get the point. It's not as good as WKT. Also, because WKT is 18% grade. These guys have like 5% grade. So they have to dig so many tons. We'll go look at how many tons they have to dig to get... They have to dig 4 times as much tons as WKT does. So WKT looks a step ahead, in my opinion. Although when they get their one in Ukraine going, these guys could be better, but that's a risk you take. Here we go, 400,000 tons to make this many tons per annum. WKT is probably doing 100,000 to make... well, they're doing 40,000 tons per annum at about 18% grade. So you do the maths, but the thing is, way better than Volts, looking at this now. So that's the first stage, 30 million, and then moving on, there's a stage 2. We'll see what that is. Yeah, so they'll step it up. And doesn't even matter what happens when this graphite shortfall comes up. Someone will be making money from graphite, and anyone who looks like that has a chance to make money from graphite will go up as well. It doesn't even matter if they're going to get, if they do finally get into production. It's whether they look like they're going to get into production. That's just the truth. Okay, so the conclusion of this is WKT, the numbers just a lot better. Already, you're paying double the price, but it's already near production. They have to pay about $55 million back. They're going to make this much per annum. They might not even get close to this. They might make half that. But that's $10 million for a company you can buy for $76 million. Still going to be pretty decent. And then they iron out the kinks. They might actually get up there. And then the graphite price increases due to shortfall. Might actually get up there as well. So another company that might be worth looking at is SGA and the ASX. These guys have 30% grade, so VRC's 5% grade. These guys can dig 6 times less, get the same out of the thing. Meanwhile, that's just getting out of the ground, then they have to actually process it, so that's metallurgy as well. And if these guys have, example, these guys have titanium in the thing, they have to work out a way to get that out. So, a bit over my head with the metallurgy. But, yeah, you think grey does mean quite a bit. Just digging out of the ground. If you look at these guys, it's at surface. And their drill results are way better than everyone else's. So 29%. So not many companies have 30% grade. Normal grade is about 10%. Low grade is like 5%. So these guys look pretty good. Go through them quickly. I think you can buy this whole company for... what is it? 16. That's not correct. Always go to the ASX website. I think it's like double that. I think it's about 30 million, but go to the ASX website and they got 7 million in cash, which is pretty good. I like them quite a bit for those reasons. High grade. In Kazakhstan. Is that a good place to mine? I don't know. Is there other people mining there? Yes. So they've got so much grade to choose from, even too much than they need, so they're going to go for the good areas. So these areas are just going to make the most sense to start the mine off with. So they're doing the study now, and I think the study was probably going to be pretty good due to the grade. I'm just thinking Kazakhstan is a cheap place because it's a poor country. Labor's cheap. Also, they got power lines in here. I think they got a power line just 2 kilometers from the thing, which might save them money. Although I've seen that before, where they have power lines, but they can't actually tap into those power lines. So building the mine is about like what's existing. Is there a road there already? What is there that I don't have to spend money on that's already there? Like a road, train tracks, power. If you got that there already, you're saving a lot of money, which means you don't have to borrow the money and pay it back and dilute the share price. So this massive mine here, and this mine here, I'm not sure why they're doing this mine here. Maybe they just want a backup for this for some reason, not sure, don't know. But anyway, it's a high grade, massive resource. Is a probability that it will get in production before other things high? Yes, I'd say so, because the grade's high. big resource. It makes sense, like, when someone's getting this graphite, they want the same sort of graphite. Every deposit needs a different, probably, way to get in the battery, and I guess a company wants one big resource that's all similar to get into the battery. That's just an uneducated opinion. So anyway, that's one I like. And then another one I like, ITM, which the money I have in here, down 10,000 this morning, then I'm back at like 5,000. So it changes pretty fast at these low numbers. These guys in Australia, in South Australia, South Australia is all on renewable energy. They have a big resource. The grade isn't great. It's probably 5 to 10, but it's decent. And existing stuff around them is good as well. And you can look at their neighbor RNU, who already has a study to say that these guys have pretty good capex to build the mine. And it's in Australia, and the government will probably help them out. So I'll leave it at that. They're my best graphite picks. IG6, honorable mention. They're good too. The graphite, their resource is quite small, but they do have the downstream going. Not going to talk too much more. I'm pretty over talking about graphite. But thanks. Remember, no particular order, but WKT is up there, probably in my top 1, 2, or 3. Same with ITM. SGA as well, and then Volt Resources. Probably 4th place after this study, just due to the grade. Although if for some reason the war in Ukraine turns around, then these guys at this price would go pretty high up there as well. And IG6, top 5. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.